Hey everyone! Skyscrapers transformed city architecture forever. Today, I'm counting down 15 of the earliest ones ever built. Let's dive in. The Rookery Building, completed in 1888 at 209 South LaSalle Street, is one of Chicago's oldest surviving skyscrapers. Rising 181 feet with 12 stories, it was designed by Daniel Burnham and John Wellborn Root, combining masonry walls with an internal steel frame, a milestone in skyscraper construction. Its grillage foundation supports the structure on Chicago's soft soil, while the Grand Light Court maximizes natural light. In 1905, Frank Lloyd Wright redesigned the lobby with white Carrara marble and modernist details. Renovations have preserved its historic charm, added Art Deco elements, and improved sustainability, keeping the Rookery an architectural icon. The Masonic Temple, completed in 1892 in Chicago, was a groundbreaking skyscraper that briefly held the title of the city's tallest building at 302 feet. Located at Randolph and State Streets, it symbolized Chicago's rapid growth and innovation in steel frame construction. Following the Great Fire of 1871, its 21 stories housed shops on the lower levels, offices above, and Masonic meeting spaces and theaters at the top. However, inadequate elevators in newer, more advanced buildings led to its decline. Height restrictions and infrastructure challenges, including the State Street subway project, sealed its fate, and it was demolished in 1939. This keeps the essence of your script while making it more concise. Let me know if you want any tweaks. The Reliance Building, a Chicago skyscraper completed in 1895, stands 202 feet tall at 1 West Washington Street. A pioneer in early skyscraper design, it featured large plate glass windows and a curtain wall facade, influencing modern architecture. Construction began in 1890, with John Wellborn Root raising the upper floors while rebuilding the lower levels. After his death, Charles B. Atwood completed the steel-frame upper floors in just 15 days. One of the first skyscrapers with electricity and telephones in every office, it once housed professionals, including Al Capone's dentist. After years of decline, a 1990s restoration transformed it into the Stay Pineapple Hotel. Edamananke, a towering ziggurat dedicated to Marduk, stood at Babylon Center and is considered one of history's earliest skyscrapers. Estimated at 240 to 300 feet tall, it dominated the skyline 56 miles south of modern Baghdad. Built in the 2nd millennium BCE, it gained prominence under Nebuchadnezzar II, who restored its 6-tiered structure after earlier destruction. Repeatedly raised and rebuilt by Sennacherib in 689 BCE, Nebuchadnezzar, and later planned by Alexander the Great, it was ultimately abandoned by Antiochus I. Though its true height remains uncertain, Edamananke endures as a symbol of Babylonian ambition and engineering. Milwaukee City Hall, completed in 1895, was one of the first skyscrapers in the U.S., standing 353 feet tall. It held the title of Milwaukee's tallest building until 1973. Designed by Henry C. Koch in the Flemish Renaissance Revival style, its clock tower and European-inspired details reflect the city's German heritage. Built on marshy ground near the Milwaukee River, workers stabilized its foundation with 2,500 white pine piles. The structure features an 8-story atrium, a towering spire with beer stein-like turrets, and a 22,000-pound bell named after the city's first mayor, Solomon Juneau. A fire in 1929 led to a tower rebuild, and a $60 million renovation from 2006 to 2008 restored the landmark. Once home to an iconic marquee seen in Laverne and Shirley, the building remains a proud symbol of Milwaukee's history. The Singer Building, once a symbol of New York City's architectural ambition, was completed in 1908 as the Singer Manufacturing Company's headquarters. At 612 feet and 47 stories, it briefly held the title of the world's tallest building before being surpassed in 1909. Designed by Ernest Flagg, it combined Beaux-Arts and French Second Empire styles, featuring a striking lantern dome and an observation deck with sweeping city views. Despite construction challenges, it had no major accidents, unusual for the era. Demolished between 1967 and 1969 to make way for One Liberty Plaza, it remains the tallest building ever intentionally raised. Progress. The Lighthouse of Alexandria. The Lighthouse of Alexandria, or Pharos, was an ancient engineering marvel and one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. Built in the 3rd century BCE under Ptolemy II, it guided sailors through Alexandria's harbor. Rising between 330 and 450 feet, it was among the tallest structures of its time, surpassing the Great Pyramid. Its design featured a square base, an octagonal middle, and a cylindrical top with a fire and bronze mirror reflecting sunlight. Statues of Zeus or Poseidon adorned its peak. Despite its grandeur, earthquakes from the 10th to 14th centuries led to its collapse. By the time Ibn Battuta visited, only ruins remained. In 1994, underwater excavations in Alexandria's harbor uncovered its remnants, sparking interest in an underwater museum. Park Row Building. The Park Row Building, or 15 Park Row, was one of the world's first skyscrapers. Completed in 1899 in New York City's financial district, it stood at 391 feet with 29 stories, making it the tallest office building until 1908. Built for $2.4 to $2.7 million, it featured a steel frame, cutting-edge elevators, and over 8,000 tons of steel, much of it from Carnegie Steel. With 26 full floors, a partial 27th, and 2 4-story towers, it housed major tenants like the Associated Press and Interborough Rapid Transit Company, accommodating 4,000 people daily. Critics debated its design, but its impact was undeniable, helping shape Newspaper Row. Once a giant among buildings, it now seems modest compared to modern skyscrapers. Converted into residential apartments in the early 2000s, it now features 339 luxury units, 2 penthouses, and ground-floor retail spaces. Terminal Tower. The Terminal Tower in Cleveland, Ohio, completed in 1930, stands 708 feet tall with 52 stories. Originally planned as 14 stories, its expansion made it the tallest building outside New York City at the time, a title it held in North America until 1964. Designed in the Beaux-Arts style by Graham, Anderson, Probst, and White, the tower symbolized Cleveland's ambition. It gained cultural fame when Cleveland Indians players dropped baseballs from its roof in 1938 and later appeared in films like The Avengers. Despite the city's struggles in the 1970s, the tower remained a beacon, illuminated nightly. LED lighting was added in 2014, and during the 2020 pandemic, it displayed a message of resilience. Though no longer the tallest, Terminal Tower remains a cherished Cleveland landmark. MetLife Tower. The Metropolitan Life Insurance Company Tower, completed in 1909, was once the world's tallest building at 700 feet with 50 stories. Inspired by Venice's Campanile, its striking clock tower features 4 massive clock faces, each over 26 feet in diameter. The tower briefly held the height record before being surpassed by the Woolworth Building in 1913, a symbol of early skyscraper innovation. It even had a public viewing platform on the 45th floor from 1909 to 1914, renovated over the years, including a luxury hotel addition in 2015. The MetLife Tower remains a landmark, reflecting the early era of vertical urbanization.